Hey, Andrew, so talk to us about your startup. What advice, suggestions, or methods can you give us that will actually help us with our startup?
Hey, Michael. Yeah, I'm a big fan of startups. And so we were just talking about, I'm really excited to share some of the stuff that's worked well for me. So, just quick background. I've done 2 startups. I'm actually preparing to open 2 more simultaneously here within the next month or two. We're hoping to open. So it's not my first rodeo with it. I've definitely learned some things along the way and some things the hard way. I would say the biggest thing for me, my biggest advice to the listeners as far as what can you do to help your startup grow as quickly as possible is to have an abundance mindset and to lower barriers for new patients. If you get on these Facebook groups and read a lot of these posts and you see docs that are saying, oh, we don't offer specials, we don't offer free whitening, I don't want to offer dental membership plans because I don't want to discount my services, fee for service is the only way to go. You can't make money with dental insurance. I mean, you see all this stuff throughout the groups. My response to that is there's a time and a place for everything. If you have an established practice that's been around for years, you've got a recall system that's, hygiene's booked out for months, doctor's schedules booked out, those are the times to be picky. Those are the times to look at where am I not making money or where am I losing money where I could be making money? And that's maybe the time to start looking at maybe putting some barriers up. If you're a startup and you have 0 patients and you have nothing filled on the hygiene schedule, nothing filled on the doctor's schedule, you don't want to put barriers up for patients. You want to be as readily available for people to come in the door as possible. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean be open 7 days a week, because I know that there's some startups that do that. All my startups start at 3 days a week. As soon as we get busy, we add a 4th day. We've got a little bit of extended hours. We do like 1 evening a week, 1 early morning a week. So I think those are nice for patients. I don't really ever go in on the weekends. 99% of the time, it's not a true emergency and the patient can wait until we're open the next week. So, when I say be available, I don't mean in that sense, but I mean, don't create barriers by not offering specials, not accepting insurance, trying to go fee for service off the bat, trying to be super selective with the type of patients that you're bringing in the door. Because when you're first opening a startup, if you want to grow quickly, you need people. And, maybe they're not the right long-term patient. That's the other thing I hear too. Because, I run a lot of ads for like free whitening for new patients. And, we used to run a lot of $98 special ads. I'll be doing those at the new startups as well. I always hear people say like, don't those bring in the wrong kinds of patients? When you're a startup, there's no wrong kind of patients. They're all the right kind of patients because they're patients, they're people, they're keeping you busy, they're adding production to your schedule. And as the practice grows, maybe they won't be long-term patients. Maybe they won't stick around. Maybe they're looking for the best deal and they'll go to another office later. But for the time being, they helped you grow. They serve the purpose. And if you gave them a great experience, then, hopefully they're going to refer other people who maybe are better fits for your practice as well. So I think that's probably my biggest piece of advice. Kind of going off of that is getting Google reviews. Google reviews is like the best type of free marketing that's out there. When I say free, like, I guess maybe you pay for the review software. I recommend it. I use Swell. I know there's different softwares different people like, but I mean, it's like $149 a month. That's basically all we pay for the Google reviews. And then we just try to provide a 5-star experience. We, ask for reviews. We have a whole system. I actually did a podcast episode all about Google reviews where I dive in exactly how we go step by step to get all these reviews. But my flagship office, we got 1,500 Google reviews in our first 2 years. So that's been a huge part of our growth as well.
Nice, man. So if we rewind a little bit, you mentioned when you're fully booked out, that's the time to make the barriers, right? So a lot of the times I hear a lot of things, Andrew. Sometimes people are like, you got to start making your brand right now, what you say no to. So make sure, start off fee for service because eventually, and then I hear the opposite too, like what you're saying, right? Like, nah, man, like you got to be open. And then I like your concept where be open, accept things, and then start making your barriers and see what you don't like and do like. For example, the free whitening, right? That you mentioned. How do you make that work? Like, is it bleach trays or what do you do?
So we do the Opalescent Go, like mini kits. It costs about $20 per kit. So basically every new patient that comes in, they have to get a comp exam, x-rays, dental cleaning. If they get all those things, they get a free whitening kit that costs us about $20. And we're still doing that. So even, we've been open over 2 years. This year we're on track to do like 2.75 million. We're a big practice. We're growing. We've got 3 full-time hygienists. Hygiene recalls finally starting to kind of book out a little bit. But we still offer that as a gift to new patients. I think it's nice to give patients a gift. I think whitening is something that most people want. What we did is, as the office got busier, instead of getting rid of the free whitening, which has worked so well for us and is very easy to advertise, we just raised the price of our new patient special. We used to do a new patient special that included x-rays, comp exam, cleaning, and the free whitening for $98. At that point in time, it was pretty much a loss leader. When you think about payroll, the cost of the whitening, I use a call center. They're great, but I mean, it's $40 for every new patient that actually shows up for an appointment. So if that patient called to book the appointment, $40. They did the whitening, $20. Whatever you're paying your hygienist, you add all that stuff up. I probably spent more than $98 for that patient to come in the door. So at that point in time, it was a loss leader. But the way that you're profitable is by that patient actually doing treatment, coming back for other appointments, signing up for your membership plan, leaving Google reviews, whatever it might be, referring patients. At this point in time, we've gotten rid of our $98 special at the flagship office because that one's grown so much. We almost doubled it. And, this was at the advice of Dr. Chris Phelps, but, I had talked to him about kind of where I was at. And he said, at this point in time, I think you need to increase the new patient special. So we did. So our new patient special is now $188 instead of $98.
Okay. And you haven't seen any dip because of the increase, or no? It's still the same?
I mean, I would say it dipped, but at the same time, we don't need as many new patients. So, for a while, we were seeing 250 new patients a month. That's that point where I'm saying, hey, barriers were as low as possible. Free consultations, $98 specials, free whitening, tons of ad dollars. I mean, I would spend up to like 20 grand a month in ad spend to get 250 new patients a month. So we're spending a lot of money to do that. But we were also, a new startup practice that had months where we were doing well over $200,000 a month. So at that point in time, it made sense to do it. At this point, we only need about 100 new patients a month to continue to grow at the pace that we're at because of our established patient base. So I was able to cut our marketing budget down significantly, and we increased the cost of the new patient special. So we are attracting a different type of patient at this point in time. But if I still needed 250 new patients, or if things change and all of a sudden I needed more new patients, I would be happy to go back to that $98 special to fill the schedule if we needed to. So
real quick, how many startups or how many practices do you have right now?
2 active. They've both been open 2 years, a little bit over 2 years. And then I've got 2 more that we're simultaneously getting ready to open here in the next month or 2.
Gotcha. And you're doing the same type of concept, like the free whitening, all that stuff in those?
Yeah. So I've got like a general dentistry brand, dental boutique brand, and then I've got a dental implant brand, which is Best Value Dentures and Implants. So they're like 2 totally different models. Obviously for patients that need dental implants, the whitening is not really a gimmick. So we offer free consultations, free CBCT. We actually offer a best price guarantee. So if someone brings in pricing for implants in the area that's better, we'll beat it. And we run specials sometimes. Like I'll do like $500 in implant credit if you come in for a free consultation during this time period. And then, there's stipulations that it has to be, so many dollars in implant services in order to spend that $500 credit and things like that. But you need something like a shiny toaster in the advertise. You need something that's going to catch the attention and that's going to get people to actually take action, to click on that button. And most of our advertising has been Facebook. We do a lot of Facebook Messenger ads. That's been by far the best ROI. Those ads work the best when you do have something that you're giving, like the free whitening or the $500 in implant credit or whatever it is. We do some Google ads. Google ads are great too. It's different. The cost per new patient acquisition on Google is much higher than Facebook, but you can run different types of ads. You don't have to necessarily do the specials as much with Google as you do for Facebook. So it's 2 totally different things. And then even I use like Instagram for like our Invisalign parties. So we do those like once every 6 months, and we'll sometimes close 15 to 20 cases in one afternoon of Invisalign from these Invisalign parties. And I just have found that Instagram seemed to be the best avenue for that. So we advertise on different mediums for different purposes for different offices. But yeah.
What's an Instagram party? Like break that down for me. How do you run that?
The Invisalign parties?
Yeah, Invisalign party. Yeah.
Basically, we hype it up like it's a big event. We have like champagne and mimosas and all that. It's free Invisalign consultation, free panoramic x-ray, free iTero scan. And then the big way that we're bringing people in is that I actually give away a free Invisalign case every time we have a party. So basically, we attract people. We say, hey, come to the party, have a chance to win free Invisalign treatment. And then everyone who doesn't win the Invisalign treatment gets a draw from the raffle. And if they don't win that, then they're winning like discounts on Invisalign and things like that. So we're like, hey, you're here, you want to do Invisalign, you just won $1,500 off Invisalign, you want to get started, that type of a thing. And so it's all a volume game, a numbers game. So like I will typically schedule over 100 Invisalign consultation. We'll actually schedule them like real appointments. We don't just say, hey, come between this time and this time. Like we set them up as consultations. We'll be open like 6 to 7 hours that day. And we'll just run all of our treatment rooms. I got all hands on deck. A lot of times I'll even hire like a temp or 2 to help us out. We've got, 2 or 3 iTeros running back and forth. but we schedule over 100 people. We typically have like 50 to 60 show up because even when you offer free Invisalign, people just don't show up for stuff. And then from those 50 to 60 people, we've been typically closing 15 to 20 cases. So, for giving away one case, some advertising dollars, payroll, but it's typically our best day of the year is when we do these Invisalign parties as far as production goes. So
how do you market the Invisalign party? So you say you decided you want to do all this stuff. Now, how do you get that people to come on in?
Yeah. So I use Canva for a lot of my advertisements. So I do some of my own ads. I use a marketing company. They do some of their own ads. So it's a little bit, I'm probably more hands-on client that I like to do some stuff myself too. But like I get on Canva, I make just this quick little ad. It's usually got like just a picture of like someone holding an Invisalign tray or something like that. And then it says like whatever, second annual, third annual Invisalign party, chance to win free Invisalign treatment. And then it says like all the stuff about the event. It has like the date, the time. And then we usually put some kind of, scarcity thing on there where it's like, hey, we only have 15 guest spots left or something like that. Hurry and sign up now. It's free to sign up or whatever. So we just, I make like a little template, post it on Instagram, and then I'll do like an Instagram like boost post thing. I'll usually start advertising the Invisalign party about 6 weeks before. We're doing one in late October. So pretty soon here, we'll start getting ads up for that, start filling the schedule for it.
Nice. I like this, man. So have you ever gotten, so when you offer free whitening and things like that, have you ever gotten people who come on in and they're like, oh, I thought this was free. I have to do an exam and x-ray and never mind, right? Kind of thing. Or no?
I mean, once in a while, at that point in time, they've heard from either the call center or, the agent that's booking them on Facebook or whatever it is. They've talked to somebody who's explained to them, hey, are you planning to use insurance? No, we've got these options. Right now it's $188 new patient special, or we've got our dental membership program. It's only $1 a day, $365 for the year. And it covers you for the full year of services like cleanings, x-rays, exams, emergency visits. You get discounts on treatment, things like that. So if someone comes in and they say, oh, I thought everything was free, they just really weren't listening, or, they were trying to pull a fast one or whatever it is. Over like 2 years of doing this free whitening, maybe a handful of times, it's like people have come in and gotten mad about it. And then there's other times where, people come in and that's like literally all they want. They don't care about anything that we find. They don't want to come back for any other treatment. They just want their free whitening and that's it. So again, to people's points, is it a perfect system? No, but does it bring in a lot of new patients for pretty reasonable ROI? Yeah, it absolutely does. So.
Yeah. And so when I ground market, that's one of the main things that we utilize, the free whitening. Some people kind of always combat that. They're like, well, to me, I'm like, you're focusing too much on that one person compared to all the other, you know what I mean? People that you're bringing in. So I
talk to my team about that all the time. So, I feel like if any system you do, it's never going to have 100% success. There's always going to be, certain instances where something doesn't work out that way. And I think people get too hung up on those outliers, like, hey, if we did this free whitening and like every other patient who came in was like throwing a fit because they thought it was in-office whitening, or, they just basically came in, got the whitening, left, never came back, never referred anybody, then at that point in time, it's probably not a good system. But if 90% of the time they're coming in, they're actually, being a good patient, joining our practice, sticking around doing treatment, those 10% of the time, it's not worth getting hung up on that.
Awesome, Andrew. I appreciate your time. And if anyone has further questions, you can definitely find them on the Dental Marketers Society Facebook group, or where can they reach out to you directly?
Yeah. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Dr. Andrew Vallo. Feel free to send me an email, docvallodds@gmail.com. And we are releasing my own podcast here in just a week or two. It's called Dental Unfiltered. So feel free to check that out as well.
Nice. So guys, that's all going to be in the show notes below. Definitely check out his podcast. Much more information in that podcast. You're going to be talking about the reviews?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we've recorded the first 3 episodes. The first one is just all about my story, 0 to 4 startups in just over 2 years. Second episode is all about how I got 1,500 Google reviews in 2 years. And the third episode is all about our Invisalign party and exactly like step-by-step how we do that stuff. So
nice. Okay. Yeah. So we look forward to that, man. Awesome. So Andrew, thank you so much for being with me on this Monday morning marketing episode.
Thanks, Michael.